Hi everyone, today is a very special vlog. It's about a very special place here for any one of us who grew up in Jeddah in the 80s and the 90s. What was life like for us toy collectors back in the day, before the age of the internet and even before the international mail ordering companies came along in the United States? So as you can see behind me is Jeddah International Market, Souk Jeddah Ad-Dawli as it's commonly known, and I'm going to be taking you to walk down the memory lane where I still remember some of the places that used to sell either comics, action figures, or both back in the 80s and 90s. Of course, now they don't exist anymore, but still, it's important. This vlog is dedicated to my dear brother Yas bin Fernas, or Yasser Alireza as he is more popularly known, as co-creator of Wayl. Yasser and I represent that generation that grew up in Jeddah in the 80s and 90s. And this is a throwback to our struggles. One of the reasons Jeddah International Market, before any other thing happened, the reason it was popular was because of having turtles within its facility. And we all know that in the late 80s and 90s, when the craze for Ninja Turtles came along, these turtles became more popular. Of course, due to municipality regulations, I think they didn't want to go with having Master Splinter be side by side with them. But as you can see, there are turtle statues and also real life turtles that still entertain us. Today this market or mall is home to many jewelry shops, antique souvenir shops, electronic stores, even stuff for sneakers, sneakerheads and basketball lovers. But this is the shop where it all began. The shop that you see behind me used to be occupied once upon a time by Tehama bookstores. This is where I got most of my G.I. Joe comics back in the 90s. A funny story, once I had to race against a dad. His children wanted to buy the same G.I. Joe comic and there was only one copy left. So I raced against him and was lucky enough to pick up that final issue, and he was kind enough to let me have it. So, interesting story. This used to be Tehama bookstores. My favorite spot to this day. This is where the newsstand used to be that had comics as well as international magazines and newspapers in Sarawat. Right before Sarawat, there is an alley that would come on your right, and this alley today has mostly like electronic accessories, mobile accessory shops, eyewear shops, jewelry stores, electronic stores. But this at one point in time had a toy shop that got me some of my favorite X-Men and G.I. Joe action figures that are still with me. So behind me is a jewelry store which now occupies the place where there used to be a toy shop. I forgot the name, but this is where I bought my X-Men action figures of Wolverine and Sabretooth from 90s Toy Biz series, and also G.I. Joe Roadblock from Tiger Force. So imagine, man, I mean, right now what you have seen are already 3 spots within one mall that were having something related to our favorite characters, our favorite superheroes. And also one more thing, in this same alley there used to be a shop that used to sell stuffed toys, and I got my Alf. I don't know if any of you remember his stuffed toy from this shop. So this is a display of Manhattan. Just like New York has islands, so they created a small decoration to honor Manhattan. But before, back in the day in 80s and 90s, these waters would be home to turtles, just like you saw in the previous clip. So Now the interesting bit is that the shop that you see behind this square or this area, it's now an electronics store, but back in the day this was a very long-lasting toy store that was selling G.I. Joes, Legos. These were the only properties that they had. My Sergeant Slaughter's, Marauders, Lowlight, and Mutt G.I. Joe action figures came from this store, and it remained active until the late 90s, but after that things just went in a totally different direction.
So, as I leave this mall, I am reminded of all the wonderful memories that I was able to collect. I'm sure I'm not the only one in Jeddah or in Saudi Arabia. Even people who came here for Umrah pilgrimage would always visit this place. And for people like us, for toy collectors like us, this place is special.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this trip down the memory lane. Just be grateful to what you have right now. Easily in today's time in Saudi Arabia, we have online shopping platforms like Amazon and Noon that are selling a lot of superhero stuff. We have no problems with gaming. We have no problems whatsoever. And even if there is, if we can't find it here locally, we can easily buy it from any global website, eBay and every other thing. Another reminder, this is not a paid promotion. This is just trying to connect with my community through nostalgia. We came a long way to see all of these superhero activities happening, whether it's in the form of comic cons, whether it's in the form of availability of a particular merchandise or a particular set of merchandise that's there. So please make sure to like this video, share it, and make sure to subscribe to my YouTube. Thank you so much for watching.